I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Travis. And I'm Wade.
Damn, we are late to the party. It's another episode of Better Late Than Never, Spooky Edition, Halloween.
We got Wade with us here, an
Wade
independent
Stai.
filmmaker, and he's given me some time off to not have to worry about looking up anything or doing videos and having ideas. Thank you, sir.
Emmy award-winning writer and director Wade Stai coming up with Friday Night Frights soon. Be on the lookout for it. Shadoworks, check it out. But Wade, we let you pick these episodes of Better Late Than Never for October. What do you have for us next?
Tonight, Don Coscarelli's immortal classic, Phantasm.
Phantasm. Now you have the actual VHS for all these movies
Via what now?
that we are watching. Yes.
No, look, there's kids right now that don't understand what this is. They have no idea. Oh, that's so fetch.
And it's
Stop
Trying to make fetch happen.
yeah, they're out of the gun, ready. It ain't just horror in Wade's house. But Vanessa and I more recently, watched Phantasm. This movie's crazy, Wade. What the hell?
No,
it's
it
insane.
Is. It's absolutely nuts. Came out really in the time of all these new horror type movies. This one was released in March 28th of 1979. Yeah. So one thing I found very interesting. You know how much it cost to make this movie?
How much?
Like $300,000. Yep. Do you know how much it made?
How much?
$12 million. They filmed this over the course of like a year or more. Just piecemeal, nights, weekends, whenever they could.
Holidays.
Yeah. It is a true example of the patience and the endurance to make an independent film when you have very little money. Oh, absolutely. So, with you making your independent films here, I could totally see where this movie would be something you would pick. Oh, absolutely. No, dude, this was a model for just being able to make something awesome on virtually no money. And I mean, this movie in the end, we'll get to the trailer but in a second, but I mean, J.J. Abrams loved this movie so much. He actually... Oh, I know him. That's a recognizable name. He paid for the digital restoration, the full restoration of this movie, including naming Captain Phasma in episode 7 after the ball. Holy Phantasm. Shit, I did not know any of that. So, yeah.
And we were wondering, because the version we watched had Bad Robot at the beginning of it. We're like, wait, what?
Because, and so many people on the crew had no idea what Phantasm was, when he was like, oh, she looks like the Phantasm ball. He was like, what the hell? So he got a hold of Don Coscarelli. They restored the movie completely, and then he ran it at Bad Robot for his entire crew to watch Phantasm. I thought this was a cool story. There's nothing horrible than having a joke that you love and no one else gets.
So let's take a look at the original trailer picked out by Wade for Phantasm now.
That old school screen, man.
Yeah.
Why is it not green? I know. I actually have the real 35mm trailer of this.
Don't do it. Just walk away.
Is it a nightmare?
Beautiful shots.
Oh yeah. It's just...
Yep.
Phantasm. Is it an illusion? Phantasm.
Man's pretty tall. Yeah, it's a Jawas.
Yeah.
No.
And they were filming this before Star Wars came out. Huh. So Jawas happened at the same time as the Little Trolls.
You have to take me home. But why? No questions. You must take me home.
No, they just show him walking.
Phantasm. Yeah. Is it a fantasy?
Stop it. Yep.
Oh, Reggie, you poor
They're
bastard.
giving you everything.
Basically, yeah.
They really are.
This is everything.
If you haven't seen it, though, it's totally...
Correct. Out of context.
Totally out of context. Don't wreck the CUDA.
Alive.
Don't wreck the CUDA.
There was nobody driving.
Oh, you dented it. Bummer. 71 Hemi CUDA.
Car aficionado as well.
Want that car so bad since I was like 13. Look at that shit!
Whatever it is.
I love how that's like two different shots, but like with the car blowing up.
Oh yeah.
But it makes it look like it flows pretty well.
No!
Boom!
Already dead.
It's so weird.
I love it though. It's so good. it's such a nightmare image though.
It is a very nightmare image, and it really plays no part in the story other than visual imagery.
So they had a baseball pitcher come in to throw the ball.
Really?
And so they would just have this baseball pitcher come in and just chuck this silver ball at the actors. Interesting. And then they would film it in reverse. So Vanessa, would you see this movie based on this trailer?
I think I would kind of to see what is going on, because in this trailer you get so many different visual things happening that you're like, wait, what is even happening? Like, you don't really know exactly what's happening. I mean, you kind of get a little narrative with the trailer, but at the same time you're like, okay, who's this guy? Why are these people here? What's going on? So it's kind of like more so trying to intrigue you to go see the movie to kind of figure out and piece the story together.
Huh.
Now, Phantasm, for my first time watching it, which wasn't too long ago, for me, it is a very slow burn type film. It does take a while to actually get going. In fact, there was a good portion of it that passes by before Vanessa and I actually sat up and said, now we're intrigued, now we're interested. You had my curiosity, now you have my attention, for sure. It is nuts. It made us want to actually go through and watch the rest of the series to figure out what is happening, because you aren't going to get really anything in the first film. It is all about the visuals, it's about the music. There was even a point during the music where it was happening and I'm like, Vanessa, don't listen to the upper, higher pitched tones, listen to the underlying layer of the bass behind it. And I'm like listening to this song and going with it and how it just dances in this realm of, you know, horror music, horror themes. You've seen it before with things like Halloween, Friday the 13th. They all have their own tones. It's like, I'm enjoying the hell out of the score that they gave us, not having seen Phantasm until recently.
Yeah, the score is super iconic for this movie. And all of the locations and everything were all shot around Agora Hills, California, right across pretty much the street from where they filmed Poltergeist. There's a shot with like the tree where they, you know, they keep going back to the tree and the cemetery. All of that is actually right off Canaan Road in Agora Hills. So if you want to go see it, you can go check it out.
Movie location aficionado as well, ladies and gentlemen. So when it comes to Phantasm, though, it's not your traditional horror film. It is definitely something a little bit more sci-fi aspect to
absolutely.
it. The only thing that I could even compare it to, like there were points where I'm like, this reminds me of Doomsday from Doctor Who. Like I'm like, okay, well there are some elements here, and clearly it has elements that have spoken to other creators out in this world, like you said, J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. The thing that cracks me up though is how many adults. Don Coscarelli commented on this last time he was in town doing a live thing. He talked about how many children he had corrupted because all these 13-year-old kids saw this movie and were like, "Holy shit! I want to drive a muscle car and shoot guns and and all this stuff." So I think it's a thing about when you see it, because I saw this movie for the first time when I was about 13, and so I was prime time. I was the same age as the kid in the movie. And so for me, it was,
I have to say something here.
I already know what you're going to say. Hey, Travis, have you seen Phantasm?
I have not seen this movie.
Have you ever heard of Phantasm?
I have not heard of this movie before.
I am very interested then. I am very interested as to your interpretation of what you just saw in the trailer.
I would see this movie based upon this trailer. And what really caught my eye was the way it was filmed. Like these scenes, like walking down the hallway was very intriguing, and these things being shown, like, trailers don't typically show detail, and I think this trailer showed it, especially with the spike ball thingy going through. I am very intrigued, because if I saw this based on the trailer, what am I missing from the movie? So I would see it based on this trailer, and I am very curious on what the rest of the movie's about.
When I was a kid, I didn't know about this movie. My older sister, she's like, "You've got to see Phantasm," and I'm like, "The hell's Phantasm?" I'm like, this 13, I'm like, "What the hell's Phantasm?" She's like, "You'll love it. There's this silver ball that like drills into people's heads," and I'm like, flies around. I'm like, "All right, sure, whatever," And so I went to the video store and I rented it, and I've been a diehard fan ever since. So
it's crazy because if you look at my notes right here, that's in front of the screen that I usually look at. I called it Phantoms.
Oh,
Yo, act like you the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
With this movie, I mean, clearly it had some effect on you. Is this affecting your upcoming movie, Friday Night Lights? Friday Night Frights?
That's a whole different bag of balls.
That is,
wait, what?
Bag of balls?
Yeah.
Oh, hey-o.
But they would.
Yeah, I mean, in a way it is. In a way,
I was going to say bag of ball game, but then it just settled with bag of balls.
Bag of balls. Either one works.
It works.
Hey, Vanessa, how you doing?
I'm just enjoying the commentary right now. Just keep on going.
When Don Coscarelli signed my poster, he wrote, "Keep your balls in the air."
Perfection. resolution then. So it's not just a clever slip of the tongue.
Oh, yeah.
Vanessa.
Can I say something though too? I do want to say that when we were watching this movie, there were some similarities that we can kind of pick up. I'm not sure if they did take it from there, but we were like, oh, it kind of reminds us of Nightmare on Elm Street, like the first one where you have like the nightmare scenes, and then you also have the scene where there's the kid gets like pulled into the mirror. And that kind of reminded us of Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was funny because he's like, oh, that this movie came out before Nightmare on Elm Street, so.
Sorry.
Real quick, just jumping off of that, there is a resolution and then a hey, we're back type mentality when they approach this film. That is very similar to me to Nightmare on Elm Street, and that doesn't come really till the end of the movie, but with those nightmare shots that you see, I kind of got a little bit of that. Funny enough, came out years before.
Yeah, the movie itself is very rooted in that sort of pseudo dream logic about what's real, what's not. Is this a nightmare? Is this reality? And how much can you trust of what you're actually seeing is really happening to these characters? So,
and it definitely
wobbling.
Exactly.
It brought tuning forks to the forefront in this film. I loved it. I was analyzing the scene before it happens. I'm just like, this is what you need to do. This is what has to happen here. Oh my God, this came from earlier in the movie. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. I think what really intrigued me though too is that element of not knowing exactly like, is this happening to them? Is this real, or is it just kind of a dream sense? Especially when it came towards the end of the movie, you're kind of like, wait, what? What's going on? And then, oh, is it just something that he's kind of manifest to himself? So that's what I really liked about it at the end too.
And that's what made us want to freaking watch the sequels.
And I was just going to say,
want to see what came next.
To jump off, I won't ruin anything in the sequels, but it gets stranger as the sequels go on because they keep playing with your perception, they keep playing with your logic. The funny thing is, though, because this movie developed such a cult following when it came out, Avco Embassy, who actually put out another movie that I think we're going to talk about down the road, was a hit for them. They actually did a double feature of this. They brought this back in the theaters, did a double feature with The Fog. And so you can find these weird trailers online where it's Phantasm and The Fog as a double feature. But Universal came back and were like, look, we want to make a sequel to this. So in 1987 or 88, they did.
In 1980.
Yeah, they did Phantasm 2 out of the blue a decade later. And Universal gave him money. They were like, here's some money, do something cool. And so they did this awesome sequel. But here's the catch. You can't bring in some of the older actors. We need a couple of name actors. And so they had to recast the kid that plays Mike as an adult.
Yeah, I heard about that, or I was reading about that, how they brought somebody else in, and then people did not like the fact that they brought somebody else in, and so after that, the sequels after that, then they brought him back to be in the sequels. So
and the tall man is in every single one of them.
Reggie the Ice Cream Man, gotta love Reggie.
Every single sequel to this film, and that shows the dedication of the team that was put together that built this movie, stuck together to help keep creating the story that they were passionate about.
These were like almost family projects. I mean, these were crafted by close friends and family, and over a long period of time, and it was made with a lot of love. These movies, so.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
I was gonna say, can I say that, watching the movie too, I was like, okay, I'm intrigued, but as we're talking about it now, I'm like, man, I really did enjoy this movie a lot. It had a lot of different instances to this movie. To be fair, though, when we were watching the movie, I was like, did they make a lot of this stuff up on the spot? Because every time they would go into different situations, you're like, wait a minute.
I did hear that a lot of it was rewritten while filming it.
A lot of it was rewritten while filming it, but there is so much material that they shot and cut that resurfaces in the sequels that has never been
I heard that.
So they incorporated into 3 and especially Phantasm 4.
Because the first version, it was way long.
Oh, yeah.
It had a lot of character development.
Yeah.
But they just cut it back because nobody wanted a long horror movie at that time.
So it's really cool that they go back in time as the sequels go on, and you get into the third or fourth movie, especially the fourth movie, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're seeing all this cool stuff that as a fan you've never seen before, that you've heard about, all these different scenes, and all of a sudden they start showing up. So
that's intriguing as hell. Because while we're watching it, it's a slow burn.
Yes.
Okay, it takes a while
Yeah.
for things to get going in this film, and then it just gets crazy.
Yeah.
It just gets nuts.
Oh.
Just visually, and only tip of the iceberg crazy to where it's like, oh, there's more to it here. damn it, there's sequels. Damn it, now I gotta watch
To
the
the
entire
point where you're like,
series.
wait, I want to know more.
Correct. And they did their due diligence when
Yeah.
it comes to making you want to know more on this film.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a feature of this at Halloween Horror Nights?
No, there is not. No, we are.
But that would be awesome if they did do it.
I could
like
see
how
them,
crazy
yeah.
if they had the white room and then like the tuning thing.
No,
and
yeah.
then
Mortuary
they had the
seems like it would be a
spears,
natural,
like,
yeah.
going around,
I-
and then in one room they just have like the tall man in like different spots, and you're just like, oh.
And just wait till you guys get into the sequels because the spheres get so cool. So many different versions and
That's
weird
one
stuff.
thing that I'll tell you guys
Crazy.
right now. If you have not seen this movie and you saw this trailer, that sphere part, I'm just going to let you know so your hopes don't get put up high and then smashed down. It's only that scene.
It's only that scene.
Yeah.
But it's the centerpiece of the poster. It's the centerpiece of the cover art.
And
so.
it becomes kind of the
Yeah.
iconic imagery for the film itself.
Oh,
is
yeah.
that spherical laser or spherical chainsaw ball.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But either way, what did you guys think of the original trailer for Phantasm? Have you seen it? Tell us down below. If you have not seen it, tell us what you're thinking with that imagery down there. You can also like and subscribe.
And do the thing on our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Stardust.
All the social networking, ginger ants, you know where they are, kicking the party, fuel the party, keep the party going on our Patreon, gets us where we need to go. But guys, Shadoworks, Wade, check out the work that he has done. You can find everything in the description below, but tell us what you are doing next.
Right now I'm working on an independent film very much in the vein of how Phantasm was produced. It is an anthology film called Friday Night Frights. It is set on the Friday night before Halloween in a video store in the mid-'80s. So yeah, all kinds of fun stuff here. So those of you who don't know what a VHS tape is, doesn't remember Blockbuster or anything else, you can still go back in time a little bit with this project.
I'm disappointed it doesn't look like update video.
Yeah.
Video update?
Video update.
Tomato.
He had a comma in there. That's why he read it that way.
But yeah, it really came to pass because I went to the Blockbuster the last night it was in business here in town. It was the last Blockbuster. It was the last night, and I was like, God, there's an entire generation from this point forward. Every generation is not going to have a video store to walk the aisles of. And I grew up. I mean, my film school was a video store.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel the same way.
And that's what I really wanted to kind of recapture was that experience, that social experience of going on a Friday night and getting a stack of movies, renting and going out with your friends and getting pizza and that's the whole purpose of this project is really just to kind of look back at that and have fun with it. So
I loved going to Blockbuster on a Friday night, wanting to see what they had available to rent. And then the video games came out, and you could rent from them too. And then you're seeing all the snacks in the front. You're like, you want it all, but then your mom says, no, you can't have any of that stuff. And you get all sad.
And with that, he's taking all that love and he's turning it into a horror film, an anthology horror film, multiple chapters with an underlining thread. We can't wait to check it out. And if you guys want to see his announcements trailer, it's going to be at the very end of this video as well. But wait.
The only other thing I can say is if you want to check out more online, it's at FridayNightFrightsMovie.com or AnalogHorror.com.
Down in the description of this video, you'll see it there. Travis, thank you for joining us on this Phantasm adventure because you're the only one that didn't get to join us.
This Phantasm was fantastic.
Okay, well now that's going to be all for us for this episode of Better Late Than Never. Thank you guys so much, and as always,
Now it's time to say goodbye.
this party is over. Bye.
Bye.